What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Feldway was the only one who visited Fen during his imprisonment, as Veldanava had entrusted him to do so. Over time, they became friends, sharing conversations and consulting each other. Feldway, isolated as a leader, found solace in Fen's company. Fen, having experienced long-term solitude, came to appreciate the value of friendship. Now, with a stage to unleash his power and a friend to impress, Fen was thrilled. Though his violent nature hadn't diminished, he now valued his friends more. He was deeply grateful to Feldway. Fen declared he would handle DiGruel, but Dino was still uneasy.
Wait a minute, Feldway, are you sure about this? If we let Fen loose, won't we lose the reason for DiGruel guarding Heaven's Tower?
Heaven's Tower was the only entry to the Heavenly Star Palace for those without the main gate key. DiGruel's role was to prevent Fen from being unleashed upon the world. Dino argued that if Fen attacked, it could cause significant trouble. Despite being under the control of the Ultimate Dominion, Dino's thoughts were free, allowing him to voice his concerns. Similarly, Leon was constrained in his actions but not his thoughts. This allowed him to minimize damage during the battle with Sylvia by not attacking extensively. He also tried to signal her, but she was too preoccupied to notice. Even if she had, the information would only have confirmed that Leon still had his free will, which wasn't particularly useful. Currently, the Ultimate Dominion restricted actions but not thoughts, which suited Feldway's need for flexible thinking during strategy meetings. Dino's comment was therefore welcomed.
Good point. So, what do you think we should do to address this concern?
Well, I don't really know.
Dino's confidence waned when directly questioned. Realizing it didn't put him at a disadvantage, he reverted to his usual nonchalant self.
No, even if you ask me that, there's no real problem, right?
At any rate, as discreetly as possible, Dino attempted to sit down, signaling that his part was done. However, Feldway had other plans.
I trust Fen, but Dino's concerns are valid. Therefore, I believe the best course of action is to send additional support.
You intended to do this from the start, Dino thought. Voicing this might have seemed like Feldway doubted Fen, so Dino's comment was a convenient excuse. More critically, it meant Dino, who brought it up, might be roped into participating. Dino's suspicion was confirmed.
You are worried, Dino. Then it's only right you witness Fen's strength firsthand.
No, I'm not really.
Don't be modest. You might not get involved directly, but you should see how strong I am.
Dino hadn't planned to do this, but now it was unavoidable. He resigned himself and nodded reluctantly.
That's true. Then, I'll join in with Pico and Gracia.
What? Hey, Dino, don't drag us into this. Seriously, I don't want to. I just had a life and death battle with Rain. Isn't it cruel to make me fight again?
Dino's companions protested, but he ignored them. He figured they were slacking off anyway and pulled them in to share the workload. Feldway didn't object and approved the plan. While he trusted Fen, DiGruel was formidable and not to be underestimated. Plus, DiGruel had another brother. The legend of the three rampaging giants was well known. Feldway, knowing the truth of that tale, was prepared to act wisely.
Leon, you will join them, including Fen. 4 of the 7 angels will attack Heaven's Tower. That should suffice.
Thus, the team for the next mission was decided. The meeting seemed to be wrapping up, but instead, they moved on to the next topic.
Now, let's identify the next target.
Isn't it time to go on the offensive?
Indeed, we are planning a simultaneous invasion, maximizing our offensive capabilities. Respectfully, Fen, you will act as a decoy.
A decoy? Then who's the real target?
Dino, though disinterested in the mission, was curious. Knowing the other locations might be more challenging could ease his mind. Besides, if he could meet up with Rimuru, he might gain useful information. Despite this not being his usual behavior, he questioned Feldway.
Remember our primary objective.
That was Feldway's response. Dino pondered what the objective was. It had to be something grand, like reviving Veldanava. Naturally, Dino would welcome Veldanava's return. Doesn't Veldanava-sama have his own reasons? Perhaps Feldway became too troublesome, or maybe Veldanava wanted to step back until humanity matured. Dino thought it was presumptuous to make assumptions about Veldanava, the creator and supreme being. Those who claim to speak for the god are the most troublesome. They can twist your words without permission if you express a different interpretation. Rumina's had a tough time with this, which is why she stopped appointing humans as the Pope. Even when people hear the same words, their perceptions can vary widely. People tend to believe what they want to believe and are often reluctant to admit when they're wrong. For example, Rumina's never claimed to be the one and only god, yet her followers came to believe she was the sole deity. This misinterpretation suited Rumina's, so she didn't correct it. However, when people manipulate the truth, it can lead to significant problems if mishandled. Dino had learned this after observing the human world for a long time. Now, his colleague was setting a poor example, and he felt like giving them a break.
We still need the Veldora factor to revive Veldanova-sama, but there's another obstacle we can't ignore. Isn't that right?
Dino wasn't involved in this, but Feldway was looking directly at him.
Whoa, me? Give that task to someone else.
Dino glanced around and saw everyone else maintaining serious, blank expressions. Solario, dominated by Feldway, seemed ready to ignore him completely. Leon had just arrived and didn't seem to follow the conversation or care about it. Fen and Jahil were also clueless since they were new. Pico and Gracia were hiding behind Dino, looking down, hoping for luck. The other members of the Seven Angels were useful pawns, not friends of Feldway, and Dino was the one who had to deal with them.
Is this a joke? With Kigali and Yuki gone, I'm stuck thinking for everyone?
Dino realized he had drawn the short straw but couldn't change his situation. He decided to play along to avoid raising expectations.
You want to hear my thoughts?
He smiled suggestively. Feldway nodded in satisfaction.
I knew it. He's too smart for his own good and doesn't want others' opinions. I'll just flatter him.
Dino nodded back, thinking his approach was working.
That is right. Dino is correct. We must eliminate this irregularity. Masayuki. If Rudra is resurrected through Masayuki, it could affect Michael-sama.
I didn't say anything, Dino thought, but he kept his face neutral and nodded. He knew the logic was flawed, but he wasn't about to point it out now. He let them do as they pleased. The others also kept their opinions to themselves. Feldway continued his explanation.
With Veldora deep in that troublesome labyrinth, our next target is Masayuki. If we weaken their forces one by one, he will have no choice but to come out.
If he doesn't, we'll just cut off his other forces, Feldway said. I'm pretty close with Masayuki, Dino thought, but he kept quiet. He wanted to warn Masayuki but couldn't risk betrayal now that Michael's control was stronger. Even using the telepathy net with Rimuru would be a clear act of betrayal. He could only hope for a lucky coincidence, but that seemed impossible, so Dino gave up and prayed for Masayuki's safety.
So, do you know where Masayuki is?
Good question, Dino. Velgerd.
Yes. From Velgren's presence, I have a rough idea of his location. There are several spots within the Empire, and one in the Kingdom of Ingratia where the girl is responding. The presence is hidden, but my eye cannot be deceived.
Velzerd's cognitive ability was on par with or greater than Milam's, Milam-I. She easily detected the presence of her siblings and others. Velgrind appeared to be using parallel existence to fortify the Empire while also guarding Masayuki. Following Velzerd's comment, Mai manipulated a miniature light spot. Following the west end ruled by de Gruel, the central west area under Rumina's control changed from a white light to a red light on the map. Feldway pointed at the red light.
This indicates that Masayuki is here, in Ingratia. Vega, I want you to handle the attack. What do you think?
This wasn't a question, but an order disguised as one to boost Vega's morale. Vega, not realizing this, grinned and eagerly agreed.
Leave it to me. I know the place well, with many hidden passages. I'll sneak in and deal with this Masayuki kid.
Feldway nodded. His plan was to let Vega create chaos as a distraction, while Arios would kill Masayuki. Feldway intended to go to Ingratia's capital himself, so he allowed Vega to proceed and observe the enemy's response. But there was more to the plan.
Zalario, you will lead the army to support us. Keep an eye on Rumina's, and if she moves, stop her.
And if she doesn't?
Stand by. If I give the order, launch a full-scale assault on Ingratia's capital.
Understood.
Feldway's commands were absolute. Zalario nodded, concealing his frustration. Currently, Jahil was the only one without a task. Feldway wouldn't leave one of his 3-star commanders idle, so Jahil waited for his orders.
Let's be cautious. Jahil, you are on standby. Manage my subordinates and assist Fen.
Isn't that overkill? I don't think it's necessary.
Don't argue, Fen. It's a precaution. Once you control Degruel, you will have your own army.
I guess that's fair.
But as long as Degruel is alive, his army could interfere.
And it's my job to stop them.
Exactly.
Fen bragged it was unnecessary, but Feldway was right. Jahil didn't mind either way. If Fen was active, he could monitor. If Fen was in danger, he could assist. Jahil didn't need immediate success, his chance to shine would come.
It's a pity they aren't my trainees, but it can't be helped. Once Fen wins, I will attack from the west to the center. Is that okay?
Sure, do as you wish.
Jahil went silent, signaling the conversation was over. Ambitious, Jahil owed Feldway, so he followed orders wisely. Given Feldway's strength, it was prudent to comply for now. Velzard reported directly to Michael, so Feldway couldn't command her. Thus, everyone's roles were set. With the plan settled, Michael addressed the group.
I have one more thing. Regarding the labyrinth and Demon Lord Rimuru's domain, it's not advantageous to get trapped there. We should lure them out, as Feldway suggested. Therefore, I'm assigning Demon Lord Milan's territory, centered on former Eurasania, to Zelenus. If war breaks out in Ingratia or Milan's lands, Rimuru won't ignore it. Defeat any reinforcements he sends, ensuring our victory.
Michael's words carried absolute confidence. Indeed, this was the key advantage for their side, systematically dismantling the enemy's forces through targeted assaults. Repeated attacks would ensure victory. Moreover, once Rimuru's bases were eliminated, the siege would be complete.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Nate, Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, Zach Rossan, Jerry Sladek, Ray Perez, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Thomas, J, Christ, Joshua Cousins, Vethelny, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Panda Cats, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Kamal Ebanks, Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Quilly Buckner, Zephyras, Alver, Normal Defate, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J. Rule, Liron Sangkap, Lucas Gay, Jason Martin, Echoed Ski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Andre Hamilton, Guy Endsley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Gobi Lin, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Smexy, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Kamal Luke, Spencer Candila, Ian Sikibul, Putate, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, Lamar, KACP9R, Tony, The Harv, Mike Roch, Matthew Abraham, Drayden Yamauchi. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.